Rising concerns that Ghana may be unable to pay its growing debt, currently at 68% of GDP. Welcome back. Now, according to the World Bank, the risk that Ghana may be unable to pay its debt is growing. The country's debt hit $45.4 billion. That's about 68% of its GDP in July. Now, economists say the coronavirus pandemic has partly contributed to the increase in debt, as the country borrowed more this year to reduce the impact of the pandemic. While CGTN's Nabil Ahmed Rufai reports from Accra.
Ghana's tax revenues took a nosedive when it went into lockdown in March due to the coronavirus pandemic, falling by 26% in the first half of the year. The shortfall meant the government had to borrow more to fund unplanned spending, especially within the health sector.
Expenditure on infrastructure has been going down in the country. It means the amounts of money the country has been borrowing is not being spent on infrastructure, which will expand the productive base of the country. But they are going into social intervention programs, things that may be of benefit to the poor in the short term, but it is not reflecting in the growth potential of the country. And for that matter, repaying these amounts of monies you have borrowed is becoming very difficult.
Ghana's debt jumped to $45.4 billion in July from $37.6 billion last year. The government says the increase is mainly due to the borrowing of $3 billion from the international market, coupled with the effect of COVID-19 and the weakening cedi against the US dollar. Ghana has lifted lockdown restrictions and the economy has begun to bounce back. The IMF says the economy will grow by 0.9% by the end of this year. But economists want the government to do more in raising internal revenue, especially from the country's natural resources like oil, so it can reduce its borrowing.
The country is just not generating enough. And I keep on saying, you cannot tax poor people and be able to raise so much revenue to develop your country. You need to be able to generate so much from your natural resource endowment. And the country is not doing well in that regards. The government of this country, the people of this country have to sit down and look at what is going wrong over there in the extractive sector.
While the country struggles to pay its debt, economists want the government to seek debt relief from their creditors.
That is already being considered. Ghana's finance minister has called on private sector creditors to also join an extended G20 debt service suspension initiative that allows participating nations to delay payments. The initiative has since April deferred at least $5 billion of debt for more than 40 developing countries.
For now, it's uncertain if Ghana will get some debt relief from its creditors, but the World Bank has urged African countries, including Ghana, to rein in spending and increase tax revenues to avoid defaulting on their debt. Nabil Ahmed Rufai, CGTN, Accra, Ghana.